There are definitely sales skills that can be taught and should be taught. The ones that come to mind for me is number one, preparation. Preparation is so critical to the successful outcome of a sales call and the sales process. We have to be well prepared. That preparation is so key and so important. And here at Acumen Learning, we teach sales teams how to prepare in a way that helps them understand the needs of the business that they're approaching. Secondly, how do I ask impactful, powerful, revealing questions to my prospect, to my customer, that will help me better understand their need so that we can determine if our solution fits that need or fills that gap. So what does that do? And where does that lead the conversation? As salespeople, we are accustomed to showing our product. And what that does sometimes at the beginning of the sales process is it prevents us from learning because we're not listening. So if we develop and prepare really good, insightful questions prior to a sales call, it frees us up to listen. We don't have to worry about what we're going to say next or think about our questions. We often find individuals, salespeople, that will go throughout the entire sales process, get to the end of the process, and are not confident in asking for the business for whatever reason. Often it is a lack of preparation. We can help build that confidence. We can teach that confidence, and it really comes from better preparation and better understanding what the needs of the customer are as we provide a solution to them. Again, something that can be taught, something that needs to be practiced. There are those 10% that are just natural and just have that innate ability, but most of us have to be taught. The other things that I would say, it really comes down to discipline and reminding ourselves on a daily basis the little things that need to be done. Sometimes, again, in our efforts to sell customers and to hit numbers, we forget the importance of the little things and making sure that we have that discipline and that tenacity of going back and making sure we're following up in an appropriate manner with our prospects and customers. Time and territory management is as old as it's as old as time, but it is so incredibly important and has to be well managed in order to be successful as a salesperson. There are absolutely specific ways that building business acumen can assist a salesperson in their preparation. If we look at preparation as the foundation of the skills that can be taught, building business acumen can assist in that greatly. I would say there are two lenses that you would look at this from. One is that external lens, what I can learn about my prospects and customers that maybe most salespeople aren't taking the time and preparation to learn and to understand. And all of that information is readily available. But secondly is an internal lens. If I'm more comfortable with my organization, I'm more comfortable with what our strategy is, I'm more comfortable with how we make money and how I impact that money-making process, then I have a better ability, more confidence in my product, a better ability to communicate the benefits of my product and my solution. So how can organizations effectively teach their sales teams these skills? I started my career with Ford Motor Company, and I was recruited to call on dealerships. Probably 3 months into my career, my manager called me in and said, "Hey, we are sending you to a training course." And I said, "Well, that's great. I appreciate the company investing in me and training me." And I asked what the course was. And he said, "The course is called Finding Frozen Capital in a P&L." And I had no idea what he was talking about, number one. And I didn't understand why they were sending me to a course about a profit and loss statement. And I completely took that for granted, went to the course, learned a lot, appreciated it, applied it in what I did on a day-to-day basis, but didn't really appreciate what I was being taught that early in my career. As my career progressed, I started to realize how critically important it was to have that information, to understand the financial statements of a business. So many do not get that education that I got and need that education as they move to different levels within the organization. They need to understand that business and financial acumen. And of course, we here at Acumen Learning provide that education and do it in a proven way that is extremely successful and extremely well received at the organizations where we teach.